people are sleeping on the new support a little bit, Rotten Souls gets double Dragoon now, and you should have 3 cards in the hand. So in case you all haven't seen, we got new Dark Magician cards, and the better of the 3 is the Gaze of Timaeus and Dark Magician of Destruction. You all might be wondering why I've got a single copy of Preparation of Rites in the hand, and that's because we're starting off our Dark Magician combos with the new support with a 1-card combo that actually starts off prep. It'd be nice if we had an in-archetype spell that did this, but now this is how we gotta do it. So even if you open prep and like 4 hand traps, you can still make Dragoon, and here's how. Activate Preparation of Rites, and that's gonna get you Illusion of Chaos. We've activated a spell this turn. That's relevant for later, keep it in mind. Illusion of Chaos is going to go and get us the Magician's Souls, which is going to be huge. We will put back the Illusion of Chaos, and then we'll use Magician's Souls, sending it to grave as part of its effect to send Dark Magician to grave for cost, and then summon the Dark Magician. Now that we've got Dark Magician on the field, and we've used a spell this turn, we can actually banish this guy to go into the new Dark Magician fusion. With Dark Magician of Destruction on summon, we'll add a Dark Magician card or a card that mentions it, so it's very generic. Let's go ahead and use that effect. Now we haven't normal summoned this turn, so I think the best thing you can do from here is go and get yourself Magician's Rod. We're going to normal summon Magician's Rod, and we're going to use Rod's effect to add the new fusion spell, the Gaze of Timaeus, to the hand. Now of course the card you search here could differ depending on the rest of your hand, but for the point of a 1-card combo, we're now able to link these 2 bad boys away into any generic link to. In this case, we're just going to make SP Little Knight, but you could do Cross Sheep, and there's a bunch of other good options too. We're going to set the Gaze of Timaeus, and we're going to pass to the opponent's turn. So end phase, pass to the opponent. On the opponent's draw phase, you're going to be able to activate the Gaze of Timaeus, targeting Dark Magician in grave, which is the Dark Magician of Destruction here. He's going to return himself to the extra deck and fusion summon Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. That was a 1-card SP Little Knight and Red Eyes Dark Dragoon off Preparation of Rites. It is insane to me that Preparation of Rites can be this good in Dark Magician nowadays. It went from being like a card people didn't want to play because of Droll to, I would say you just gotta play 2 to 3 of it at this point. Now you might say, well, I'd like to play Illusion of Chaos instead, and that's fine, but you'll notice Illusion of Chaos getting Magician's Souls doesn't activate a spell. Unfortunately, to be able to fusion summon or special summon into Dark Magician of Destruction, you need to have activated a spell. So, of course, if you've got a spell in hand to use, great. But I love that this combo can happen all from just 1 card. Like, that's incredible for Dark Magician. We really don't have 1-card combos in Dark Magician, so I really think this is awesome. So let's start with Rotten Souls, the old bread and butter of Dark Magician combos. We're going to start with Magician's Souls, which is going to pitch Dark Magician to the grave and send itself to the grave, so then we can summon that DM out. We're going to normal summon Magician's Rod. Rod's effect is going to add Soul Serpent, and we're actually going to use it straight away, which seems a little strange, but we simply need a spell activation to have occurred. And look, there you go, that's a spell activation, fantastic. Gaze of Timaeus is a card we're going to want here, so that's what we're going to stack off Soul Servant. We'll banish and we'll draw 1 into the Gaze because we have Dark Magician. Now Dark Magician of Destruction can be summoned, so we'll banish Dark Magician to special Dark Magician of Destruction because we've used a spell this turn. We can now use Dark Magician of Destruction's great effect. And he says, go get a card with DM in text. Cool, we love that. There's a lot of good DM cards in text. We're going to add Timaeus though, yeah. Normally one that's controversial. Sending away Magician's Rod, we're able to summon Timaeus. Timaeus effect, fuse, because this guy's Dark Magician while on the field or grave for those who don't know. So we're actually able to make Dragon Knight or Dragoon or the new Timaeus fusion. I'm going to make Dragoon because it's the best one. We're going to set Gaze of Timaeus. Now this has all been off 2 cards, so you'd hopefully have like 3 more cards in your hand, right? It doesn't really matter, it's just so you can discard stuff for Dragoon, like that's all we care about, right? But just know that you would have cards in your hand, because some people will be like, you have no discard. Yeah, it's a 2-card combo, that's kind of the point. Now, we pass to the opponent's turn, then in their draw phase, I probably would hold it, but you're able to wait. I'd probably go wait till main phase, use one of your Dragoon negates. This is so you don't get super poly. It also plays around Dark Rule and Drop Rule a little bit. Now that your opponents, they've got out the Dragoon negate, they're going to start trying to play again. So after this resolves, you're going to want to go Gaze of Timaeus, targeting the fusion. Your opponent might have Called By or Abystial, that would suck. But if they don't, you're going to send this back to the extra deck and summon your second Dragoon. So, people are sleeping on the new support a little bit, myself included. Like, Rotten Souls gets double Dragoon now, and you should have 3 cards in the hand, so you can still use Dragoon to gate. I should still have 1 card in my hand after all this, right? I should still have 1 card. Now, the reason why we use Gaze, we set Gaze, sorry. 1, it's quick play, so we can. 2, the reason is because this card has this weird wording. Banish it during the end phase of the next turn. So to play around this wording a little bit, we use Gaze on the opponent's turn rather than our own. Now, of course, if we're playing second, you probably won't have that luxury, but when you're playing first, try to hold off on using Gaze turn 1 if you can. Because it's nearly 99% of the time better to set it and use it on the opponent's draw phase or later in the turn, because we already had a Dragoon, we used it later. But let's say I had no Dragoon, I would probably just use it in the draw phase and summon. But this just means we like bypass 1 more turn of Gaze's banish, right? Because everyone's going, oh, if I use Gaze turn 1, like my opponent's banish in my opponent's end phase. Correct. But if we use Gaze on the opponent's turn, we get an extra turn. And you might think, well, an extra turn in Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't really matter. Well, it does, because that extra turn's our turn this time. Instead of it banishing the opponent's end phase, it's going to banish in our end phase. So you know what? On the next turn, it comes back to me, right? I draw a card for turn. I've got this Dragoon that was summoned off Dark Magician and Timaeus. Oh, sorry, it was summoned. They both have no pops, actually. Sorry. Let's point that out. No pops because they were summoned using no vanillas. So, actually, I'll just be swinging with both of them, right? Or linking them away, and that's what we'll do. We'll attack with them if that's better. If not, you're going to link them away. Probably for something. But you'd probably also normal something and hopefully be able to go into Celine and just be like, hey, Celine, can you bring back one of my guys, right? So that's kind of the concept there. Now, hopefully you don't link away this Dragoon, actually. I realize this Dragoon was actually fine. But the Dragoon that you did summon off of, whatchamacallit, Gaze, you kind of need to do something with it because it's just going to banish in the end phase. So link it away for Dark, link it away for SP, link it away for Celine to summon it back. There's a lot of things you can do, but yeah, I thought this is like super big brain to make Gaze, you know, less bad. It is unfortunate they give Dark Magician cards such terrible downsides. I don't know why all of our good cards have to have negative effects, but anyway. Alright, we're back to Rotten Souls because we got more Rotten Souls, baby. I'm a big Rotten Souls enjoyer. We are going to special the souls this time, putting our beautiful Dark Magician man in the grave, not in the hand. Get out of here, buddy. Come on. Alright, normal summon that Magician's Rod. Go effective Rod. Now, you typically want Soul Servant, but so you definitely want to get Soul Servant here off your Magician's Rod. And now is when the crazy stuff begins. We gotta borrow from the Blue Eyes cards a little bit here, so anyone who's a pure enjoyer might get a little bit upset, but bear with me here. The Blue Eyes are our brothers. Like, we're just borrowing from a brother here. There's nothing wrong with that. Mausoleum, Mills of Vanilla, by the way, not a Blue Eyes, so, you know, you could say it's actually our card, guys. We've got both DM Vanillas in the grave here. Magician Souls, send Mausoleum, chain that Soul Servant, fellas. We need the fat search. We're going to guarantee the search into Gaze of Timaeus. Thank you very much. Soul Servant goes to the grave, so we draw Gaze of Timaeus. Isn't that huge? We've still got to draw 1, but wait. Let's see if we can do some other stuff first. Go into the Spirit. Now we've got 2 dragons on the field. That's very cool. Spheres. An amazing card. But we still got an extra draw. So banish this. Random draw. Whatever we go. Another Gaze. Cool. We're going to set this down here. Because we drew another Gaze, you could set it. But in this hand, like, this is a blank card, right? So pass to the opponent's turn. Draw phase. Standby main. At some point, they're going to force out the spheres, and you're going to summon a dragon. It should be not Timaeus. You should be playing Bestial Magnemite. I haven't put it in here. I'll just summon Timaeus. It doesn't really matter. We'll just summon Timaeus. But yeah, this should be Bestial Magnemite, right? Also, on your opponent's turn, you're going to go and do this, and you'll just banish one. Oh, sorry. Back to the deck. Back to the deck for this Dark Magician. And you can go ahead and bring out literally any of the guys you can see here. Any of the purple cards that you can see, you can bring out. 99% of the time, Dragoon is just the best one to bring out. And hey, we had an extra card in the hand thanks to Soul Servant Banish. So this was a 2-card combo that ends on only 1 goon, but you get the guaranteed card in the hand. So it's nice. It's not double Dragoon, but I still think it's nice. This would also be Bestial Magnemite, so it's like searching as well, which is cool. Alright, for the last combo of the video, because it's pure DM, we will just look at a 3-card combo. Yeah, it's a 3-card combo, but like everything here is highly searchable in the deck, because we finally have a searchable Eye of Timaeus. Let's go! Alright, we will begin by summoning Dark Magician. So to do this, we're just gonna put Magician Souls in the grave. Well, firstly, we would put Dark Magician in the grave, Souls in the grave, and then we would summon Dark Magician in that order. Then we've got the good old Magician's Rod. Go ahead and use that. Go and get yourself, once again, Soul Servant, because we just need to use a spell card, right? Soul Servant, going to stack a card. We may as well go stack something we are going to want in a little bit. So, because we've already opened Gaze as well, we know we're going to like go lock in on the Dark Magician Triangle. Another reason I think Gaze is a 3-of. You really want to open this. Circle Eternal Soul still a bit brickier to open, I feel. Even though you could argue this is bricky too. The payoff of this card is insane, right? So anyway, we're going to banish Soul Servant, which is what's going to put the Gaze in the hand, otherwise it's on the top of your deck. From here, we can now banish our beautiful boy. I'm sorry, Dark Magician, farewell. We're going to have Dark Magician of Destruction. Effective Dark Magician of Destruction. Hey, aren't we missing Eternal Soul? We sure are. But we're going to get Soul Servant because this is more efficient for next turn. I didn't talk about that in the last combo, why we added the second Soul Servant. Because chaining it with Circle's value for next turn, you can just banish Soul Servant, draw next turn, which I forgot to mention. But glad if you stuck around, you know that now. So, before we move on, do we want to link these away yet? I'm not sure if we have to yet. I think we're just going to do Circle, chain the Eternal Soul. This is, of course, going to get us anything we want, but in this case, Salvation. But once again, if you already have Salvation or Eternal, you can go for something else. Go for Secrets or something, right? So, sorry. Circle will reveal top 3. Doesn't matter because we're grabbing Salvation. Salvation will put the Eternal Soul in the spell trap zone. So yeah, we've got a Soul Servant for next turn because we've already used this one. We've got Eternal Soul set here, and you can link these into literally whatever you want, whether it's Cross Sheep, whether it's IP, SP, you get to pick, guys. It's a pick your own adventure. You go to the full Fiendsmith package from here, right? I know people will like that, but I personally don't. But I thought I'd mention it because some people will be keen on stuff like that. So whether this is IP, SP, Fiendsmith, whatever you want it to be, Moon Maiden, great, have fun. You're going to set your Timaeus as well. Pass the opponent's turn. Draw phase, standby. Main phase of the opponent's turn. Your graveyard should look like this. At some point you will, you will banish SP. And banish an opponent's card. Say, get out of here. At some point you're also going to go Eternal Soul. Use the effect. Summon out. Oh, well, I apologize. We can't actually use this. So hold on. I've skipped a step. I apologize. Because we have banished the vanilla, we cannot go in. We cannot summon this. A lot of people, this is going to blow their mind. Because of the summoning restrictions on this, you can only fusion it or special it. That's it. By its way, right? It can only be special from extra deck by its effect. You can't special it from grave. It's really annoying. I don't know why Konami did it this way, but they did, so we just have to deal with it. So instead of Eternal Souling this back, what we're actually going to do is Gaze. And that means we have to put this guy back in the extra deck. And we can summon Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, which, you know, that's pretty damn good. We like that. So we've got Eternal Soul locked. We've got the Dragon Knight. So now, obviously, you can trigger your Circle. And now you can flip your Eternal Soul and make sure your board's immune. But we don't have the Dark Magician to summon here, which is kind of jank. So if we can think of a better way to do this, let me know in the comments. Because I think the double Dragoon board's still the winner here, right? But you could also argue, since this guy identifies as Dark Magician, there's a lot more we could do. But once again, because we gazed on the opponent's turn, this won't die till our end phase. We can get it off the field by linking it away. And then, you know what, you can summon it back off Eternal Soul 100 times. It will never get banished from Gaze after that, so it's good. Also got Soul Servant next turn for follow-up. But ultimately, this 3-card combo ends on 1 Circle, Banish, and SP, which... I get it, it's not the best, but it's probably like the purest, truest Dark Magician triangle that everyone has been longing to be able to make, right? For so long, Rotten Souls has not got you to this point, so it's nice that with Gaze as a 3-of, we can potentially get there a lot more often. So yeah, I just thought I'd share some of these early thoughts on the Dark Magician support, because I am hyped for it, guys. I know I was very negative on stream, because part of me is heartbroken that these cards aren't as good as the Blue Eyes cards. Like, that's just an honest fact. I'm sure everyone's aware of that. But I will say, Gaze of Timaeus does do wonders for the deck. Yes, the Banish sucks. Dark Magician of Destruction also does wonders for the deck. Yes, the Banish sucks. You see this theme of banishing and sucking? Konami, my opponent tries to banish my cards enough. Like, you don't need to banish them for me. It's all good. But yeah, Konami really have this, like, stigma on DM. They just, like, make sure there's a negative effect tied to every DM card that seems good. I'm not sure why that is. Minus Dragoon. The negative part of Dragoon's effect is how splashable it is in every other deck. But for, like, Eternal Soul, for Dark Magician of Destruction, and for Gaze of Timaeus, they just have these downsides for some reason. But anyway, the Timaeus new fusion is probably the weakest of the new support. It's okay, it doesn't seem that usable, right? Like, popping a spell trap on the opponent's turn's cool, battling and gaining attacks cool, and being unaffected by stuff's cool, but guys, it still gets banished by Gaze. If you summon this off Gaze, it still gets banished. I know it says unaffected, but it's like part of the Gaze effect for summoning is that it gets banished. Like, so yeah. Just be aware, guys, if you take anything from this video, it's that Gaze, the banish from Gaze can kind of be played around if you are smart with it and use it on the opponent's turn, and that the Dark Magician of Destruction banishing, well, there's no real way to play around it, but the best banish, I want to say, if you can pick, like, let's say you have Rod Souls and you open Apprentice, well, preferably don't banish your vanilla Dark Magician, banish the Apprentice instead. It's typically the better card to banish, or you could argue the Dark Magician Girl is also the better card to banish, but anyway, probably Apprentice is the best one because, yeah, Destruction just needs a 6 or higher. So if it can be Apprentice, fantastic, make it Apprentice. Anyway, comment down below if you got something out of this video, you learned something new from this video. But also let me know if there's other combos I should be covering. This was the pure kind of video, but there'll definitely be more covering stuff like the Primite stuff, Shining Sock stuff, and hey, maybe even the Wanted Diabell stuff. But anyway, let me know what you thought of this because, yeah, I want to pump out some more, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.